Welcome back, everybody.
Hey there. Welcome back once again to the Brews, and the Basement podcast.
Thank you for listening.
I feel like I always have to go into the special voice just for the opener, right? Like, I don't know. Something about it. So soothing.
I worked at a private ambulance company, and whenever I'd go over the Nextel, I'd drop my voice down. And a guy I worked with looked at me. He was like, "Why do you use your bedroom voice when you get on the Nextel?" And after that, I was like, "All right, I'll just stop." I didn't
do that.
I didn't realize I was doing that. My bad.
That is pretty funny.
Because I guess I was like, "Hey, we're there," and he was like, "Stop using your bedroom voice.
Talk normal, god darn it."
But either way, episode 10.
Episode 10.
Thank you for coming back. We understand there were some echo issues with episode 9.
Yes,
and,
as well as
potential green screen issues.
Yeah, which we're working through. Thank you for watching anyways, though, and I'm sure possibly you commented about it. Maybe we read it.
Yeah, maybe. Don't worry, I didn't cry myself to sleep if there were comments.
Yeah, no Stewie Griffin memes here.
Exactly. But anyway, welcome back.
Double digits, number 10. Feels good.
Yeah.
It's honestly kind of hard to believe, but at the same time.
Yeah, I always was like, we should do it. And then when we got going, I was like, all right, this is fun. Hopefully it stays fun, and this isn't like a flash in the pan thing that we decide to do.
Yeah.
I know 10 episodes isn't a lot. However, I'm happy we made it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we've probably said this in other videos, especially the intro. Not that we ever need a reason to get together and drink and talk about stuff.
Right.
But we figured,
now this just validates it.
this just validates it that, it's just fun. And hopefully we get to meet some new people out there and interact with them.
Yeah. Please comment. We're on YouTube, Basement Universe. TikTok and Instagram is Brews in the Basement.
Yep.
We're also on Spotify and other audio platforms that I can't think of right now.
Yeah, pretty much all of them, just about Amazon.
All of them.
Yeah.
If you can think about it, we're there.
We're there. We exist in that realm. But yeah, if you've seen some of the other episodes, then you know our starting segment is always Beer of the Week.
Beer of the Week. Gonna keep my hands down this time. We're doing Oktoberfest by Sierra Nevada, and this is in collaboration with Carwider Brewery. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrectly, so I apologize.
It's all right.
Our friend Eric actually told me about this and said it was really good.
Ooh.
When I told him about the pumpkin we tried for last episode, and he sent me the green sick face via text message. So once he said this was really good, or he said he wanted to try it and heard it was really good, I don't remember. I wanted to give it a shot. Found it in ShopRite today.
I'm sure it'll be more enjoyable than the pumpkin spiced.
Yeah, as long as there's no jalapeno, I think it'll be okay.
That was the tough part.
Yeah.
That was the tough part.
But Sierra Nevada, they're another company that I don't think really has missed. Their sour beer I'm not a fan of, but I'm not a fan of sour beers.
Yeah,
so.
I was literally just going to say that. I'm pretty sure you just don't like sour beer.
Right.
I'm not particularly keen on sour beer either, but
overall, Sierra Nevada usually makes pretty good stuff. So, interesting can.
Oh, yeah, wow. I like how they went for the reverse. Obviously, like the packaging is orangey or yellow.
This is like
and then this is the opposite.
The inverse, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say. And then obviously you have the black.
Yeah, this
cool.
Nice can, 6%, Oktoberfest. So, let's get into it.
Mills River.
Yeah. News to me. Mills River, North Carolina.
Let's see how much beer we can spill as usual, right?
It's usually more than I would like it to be. But
it's actually pretty good this time. I really made an effort there.
Such a good month.
Yeah.
Because you have all the Oktoberfests Basketball comes back
Hockey
comes
back,
back.
is back, which we will get into.
tonight.
Yeah. Specifically,
Hence
the
your
New
shirt
York
and hat.
Rangers. Yeah, specifically the New York Rangers.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't mind baseball.
So
I used
close.
to watch baseball. I don't watch baseball anymore. I just
Yeah.
don't have the time for it. And
I gave up
3
a lot.
hours, it's I'll follow the Yankees. They sucked all year, so I didn't have to pay attention, which
Yeah.
is great. But once football comes back, it's like finally we have some more sports, and then it's just
Yeah,
a mere
football.
month later, and basketball and hockey come
Yeah,
back.
so like for me, that's I don't really watch football, like I've said in previous episodes, but it is kind of like I'm happy to see football back because it's that easy like transition back
Yeah.
into things because there's such a long period of time where you're just like, oh, there's
It's
fucking
just
nothing to watch.
It's just baseball.
Well, yeah, no
I mean,
sports,
I
I mean.
watch mixed martial arts.
Yeah, well, that's
So,
that's something that's never
There's
gone,
that,
so.
but honestly, there are some weeks where it's just like they just trot out a bunch of people I don't know, and it's like, all right, someone good against someone bad, and someone's gonna get knocked out. So you'll have a card of nobodies with like 14 knockouts. Well, probably not that much, but maybe like 8 to 10.
It's
And
still
just
a
because
lot,
there's
though.
a knockout doesn't mean it was a good fight.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Especially that's what always killed me about like buying pay-per-views for UFC because you're
Yeah.
spending like what is it now? It used to be like $50.
So now you have to pay to get ESPN Plus, which they're raising the price again. So I think that's $110 for the
Dude,
year
that's
if you pay
insane.
for the year, and then the monthly pay-per-view is $80, which is why most people illegally stream because they want to watch the fights, but
Yeah,
you have
that's
these
ridiculous,
you have
dude.
these major companies, Disney, who owns ESPN.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous amount of money. Why
right?
should you have
so
to
Disney
pay?
has ESPN Plus, Hulu, and the Disney parks, and it's like, all right, since ESPN made the
I'm not
deal
paying
with
for
the UFC, they've raised their yearly subscription price $20 or so, $25 maybe, and the UFC pay-per-view price has gone up $15.
Pass.
That's why everyone illegally streams. But anyway,
Yeah, we could talk more about that, but let's have
will.
our beer.
Cheers. I don't want to
Cheers
spill
to you,
anything.
my friend, and cheers to all of our viewers/listeners out there. Hope you're enjoying a cold one with us. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We had some pretty sick camera focuses while we were trying that. That was fucking good.
Whew.
And there's nothing about it that makes it good. It's just like
It's just good.
a really good beer.
No spice, I'll tell you that.
No spice, but it's like a standard Oktoberfest, and that's what I want.
October is a great, wonderful time of the year. If not just for this, because it's spooky season if you're into that, which I obviously...
Halloween.
Yeah, I'm very into that.
Haven't been able to find any like horror themed beers here, which has been a little disappointing, but
That's all right.
I feel like those are made by smaller breweries and all the craft beer places that make their own. They make Oktoberfest. They're not trying to make like
Yeah. I
Viking zombie death beer.
Yeah. Brewed from the blood of our enemies. Fermented and I don't even know. All right, but anyways, great beer. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much exactly what I would expect
Yeah.
from Oktoberfest.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Nice. You know what's funny is we're pretty much right on the same page. But I was literally gonna just blurt it out before, but I was like, I was just gonna be like 8.
It's an 8.
8. It's an 8. This is an 8.
It's
I was
an
like,
8.
this is. I have to. I was like thinking to myself after giving the other one a 6.5 and having the first like 3 gulps that I had on the first sip, I was like, this is way better.
Way better.
And I have to make sure that reflects in the rating. So I would say this is an 8. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very good beer. That's really all I have to say. It's very good.
I'm looking forward to finishing this one, though. Oh, yeah.
Is there any information?
Yeah, I don't think there really is. I didn't really see too much other than that it just says,
Nothing on the can.
Yeah, like where it is or whatever.
Yeah, this is... No, it's fine. It's what I like about it. Straight to the point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's fine for a lot of people. They're probably not as into facts and stuff like that. I mean, I know a lot of times we do it just for fun because we're curious, but
especially breweries I haven't heard of, I like to know where they're from.
Yeah. Especially if you want to go visit it, right? If you'll end up liking the beer and it's somewhere you could actually go and visit, that's relatively easy. Or if you're vacationing somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna give it an 8. It's a good to great beer, and tastes amazing. Can looks cool, like you said.
Yeah, I do like it.
This is perfect for what the weather's going to be tonight, right? So we're in New York.
Tonight?
It's not going to be cold, but it's going to chill down. Where it was like 72 degrees today.
I plan on
pretty
wearing
warm.
my Zibanejad jersey when we go out. So
nice.
Yeah.
But it's going to chill down, especially when the sun goes down. And this is just that beer where it's like, it's not. There's a slight fall chill in the air. You got a fire pit going.
Yeah, see, that sounds
and
amazing
you can
right
sit
now.
and have this.
Yeah, like that would be perfect. I still think about like doing our Hooters runs and getting Oktoberfest like after running inside because it's fucking freezing out in the fall or whatever, and it's just the perfect thing. Hoodie season, Oktoberfest, fire pits.
Yeah.
Right? It's just great. It's a great time.
It's that time of year in New York.
Hockey's on. God, I love hockey. God, do I love hockey.
The leaves start to turn. It gets a little windy. We had our first night the other night where there was a lot of wind, and I was like, okay, it's that time of year. And I think we're expecting high winds.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to rain on the weekend. And
yeah. So I didn't know that there's a boat show in town. There's a boat parade. Who knew?
I didn't know that was a thing.
I guess only the people that are in it, because who the hell would go to a boat parade? I mean,
people with boats, obviously, right?
But I saw something online that the boat parade was canceled. And I asked Kim, I was like, did you know there was a boat parade here? She was like, no. And I was like, me either. I also learned we have a Columbus Day parade.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know who went? No one. Just the people that walked in the parade. I saw pictures. There was like 4 people on the side of the road.
Okay.
What's the point?
Yeah, it
Plus,
just seems
don't
like a
we
waste
not
of
like
time.
Columbus?
Yeah,
Isn't Columbus like a shitbag at this point?
I'm pretty sure that the majority of people probably view it that way. It's not.
I
even
don't
like
care.
It's not
It's
even
not
like
a real holiday.
Yeah, it's not even like very celebrated at all. Like I don't get paid for that holiday.
I don't
at
get
work.
time and a half.
Yeah.
Well, I never get time and a half. But
Yeah, so
the other people I work with don't get time and a half.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe back in the day, it was celebrated more, and with time and like the way the information and the historical facts have changed things. But I don't know.
I would say when we were school aged, we celebrated it because we got the day off. But
that's it.
Did
though.
you care about
Columbus?
Christopher Columbus at all?
On that day, no. All I cared about was being home and being able to play Halo with people.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
I played Halo once, and it was me and Chris. We were listening to music, and some kid was like, yo, don't clog the fucking voice channel. So then I taped my headset to the speaker and just turned the music off. And I was like, fuck you guys, really loud.
That's the
Ruined
worst.
the game for everyone. I had a blast, though.
Yeah. Oh, man. People really need to learn how to turn off their microphones in video games nowadays. I can't tell you how many times I join a lobby on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and people are just, the fans blowing, there's music blaring, or whatever. And especially you fucking PlayStation 5 players, mute your goddamn controller mic. It's
I didn't know there's a mic in the controller.
And I guarantee you that's a reason why it's never muted, is because people forget about it, because it's automatically on as soon as you turn the console on and you have to push the button to turn it off. So I made that mistake once before. So I mean, like, there's probably plenty of people that make the same mistake, but God, it's so annoying though.
I would say that has manifested into our generation of people on Zoom meetings. You know how many Zoom meetings I'm on and someone's trying to talk and I got to listen to like some guy doing dishes in the background, and they eventually have to be like, Dave, can you mute your mic, please? We can hear your plates. Or, John, we can hear your child screaming about his allowance. Please mute the microphone. And someone's like, oh, I'm sorry. And what's funny is every once in a while, like, I'll catch mine open and I'll be like, fuck.
I know, it's like the worst.
And then I'm
feeling,
thinking, like, did I shit talk anybody while my mic was open? Because I'll sit in meetings and people will say shit and I'll just be like, what the fuck is that?
Fucking idiot. Stupid question. What a stupid idiot. Doo-doo face.
Oh.
But
Yeah, mute your microphones,
but
regardless of where you are.
But it happens. It happens. It is really annoying, though. There's nothing worse than hearing some music blaring in there. But anyways, enough of that small little rant. Let's get to what's really important. And that is, like we said earlier, hockey. More importantly, the New York Rangers, which we are obviously fans of.
They might suck this year. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was a rough preseason.
I'm not really one of the somebody that watches the preseason too closely. I know you.
I looked at the scores.
Yeah, I know you didn't really watch either. It was just the
scores were bad.
Yeah, I heard that. What was their final record like?
I don't know.
4-2 or something.
I didn't even
like
look.
It, not good. But like you can't.
Every
really...
time they played the Bruins, they lost by like 5 goals because the Bruins are light years better than them.
Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure they won last night. The Bruins. I watched a little bit of the Chicago and Boston game, and what's his name?
Bedard scored
a nice wraparound goal.
And he had his first point was in the season opener too. He got an assist.
Yeah.
On their comeback.
Yeah.
They were down 2-0 and won 4-2.
Yeah.
Won me my parlay. Gotta love it.
It's all about that parlay. I know. You know what's funny is Dillon had texted me about making that bet. And I was basically saying to him, I was like, that seems like a pretty safe bet. Like Crosby gets a goal, Chicago scores.
It was Crosby gets a goal.
Right.
Chicago scores at least 2 goals, over 1.5, and there were a total of 6 goals scored for the game. And it was 3-2 with 3 minutes left, and I was like, man, I need Pittsburgh to pull their goalie. And it's like, who's their coach? Sullivan?
I don't think
it's
he's
the same guy.
Is he still there?
It's the same guy.
Oh, okay.
Is that Sullivan?
Mike
Is that
Sullivan?
his name?
Yeah.
It's like
Mike Sullivan or Peter Sullivan? I don't know.
I feel like it's Mike, but I don't remember. It's almost like my microphone was directly into an earpiece because I was like, I need them to pull the goalie, and all of a sudden they were like, and Pittsburgh's pulling their goalie, and I was like, I have 3 minutes for either Pittsburgh to score a goal and tie the game,
in which case, yeah,
which would have won, or Chicago to get an empty net. And I think it was Nick Foligno.
Nice.
He was like 2 feet in front of the net, but he basically deflected a pass right into it. $5
awesome.
bet won me $15, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I watched the game on the side TV. I think Omar was here that day, and they, I wasn't sure that Chicago was gonna come back because they weren't looking great. You know what I mean? They didn't look particularly sharp after the first 2 periods.
Well, the Penguins played a third period that the Rangers would play.
Which,
it's
pretty telling.
Or the Rangers like to play a really good first period and have like a 2-1 lead and then shit the bed in the second period. Basically, that's what the Penguins did. They shit the bed.
Yeah.
They couldn't control the puck.
Yeah.
They couldn't control the puck. Chicago was in their zone, heavy on the forecheck, turning them over, And, you know, they made some good plays, which is interesting because in the second intermission, you know, they were talking about Connor Bedard the whole time.
Well, I mean, obviously, right?
And I get it. He's 18. He's supposed to be the next Wayne Gretzky, basically, or whatever he's going to be.
Yeah,
or at least the next Sidney Crosby. I'm not sure.
Connor
McDavid. Yeah. But
what is it with Connors?
They said, seriously.
What is it with Connors?
If I have a son. They said they were talking in the second intermission how Chicago's defense is, you know, it's not good. They don't really have players, and they're in the process of building up. Well, they didn't let the Penguins score in the third period, and Chicago's offense turned on the pressure.
Yeah.
The only time in that third period that Pittsburgh had sustained pressure was when they emptied the net. And then they had sustained pressure, turned the puck over. Chicago was able to get it out and worked it for the empty netter.
Yeah.
Won me my bet.
I had turned
and
the game
sealed
off
the game.
At that point because I just thought, you know,
that
was going to be it.
Kim was downstairs, and I think Chicago scored to make it 2-2. I don't even remember who it was. Oh, it was like one of their defensemen, I think. Or if it wasn't a defenseman, it was a guy on their fourth line, like one of their grinders.
Okay.
And he scored, and I was like, yes, that's what we need. We need that. and Kim, like, kind of looked at me and was like, I'm going to go to bed. I was like, okay.
If I scream, just know I won.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, I do like the Blackhawks, though.
Hockey,
that's my other team besides...
I know, and that's been your other team for a long time, And the fact that you're still saying you like them when they're projected to be not great this year.
Yeah, they've been bad pretty much for a while now.
But this has been their reset, though,
yeah.
right? Because they got rid of Kane. Taze isn't there? Jonathan
No, he
Taze?
retired.
Oh, he retired.
Yeah.
Because I know he's had some health issues the last.
I'm pretty sure they also either traded Bendekrat, which was like their next like big guy.
Benderkrat?
Yeah,
I don't even know who that is.
Brenda I don't know how do you
Is it DeBrincat?
Oh, DeBrincat. That's what
I was about to say. I was like Brendercat.
Yeah. Brendacat. Yeah, DeBrincat. Yeah. Duh.
I know who DeBrincat is.
Yeah. There you go. He was like their other big player, which I'm pretty sure they had gotten rid of him.
Right.
I don't remember where he ended up.
Well, they were saying it's a complete rebuild, and
yeah, like I haven't really watched Chicago play, so I don't really know who's even on the team, but I know Seth Jones is on there.
Yes.
As a defenseman. So.
Didn't they, when they signed him, didn't they give him?
I think they gave him.
They gave him a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think he's that great though.
I don't know. I think. I'm trying. I mean,
that's
just
my opinion, right?
Seth
Obviously.
Jones, wasn't he on the Sharks for a long time?
He was on Columbus for a little bit.
Let's see.
And I think he was on Nashville.
Oh, see, you're right, and I'm wrong. So he was on Nashville and Columbus, and now he's with Chicago. I want to see.
Yeah, I think he's a little overrated for like the.
Yeah. Oh, they gave him money. 8 years, $76 million.
I think he's overrated, but hopefully I'm wrong because I would love nothing more than to see Chicago thrive. But
people, like hockey pundits, are expecting the Penguins to be competitive. And if you look at how Chicago played them, they had their first two periods were okay, but the third period they came alive. So the question you have to ask yourself is what you saw the truth?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's early.
Are the Penguins right, it's so
early.
But that's the thing. Chicago, you would assume Chicago can only get better because how young they are, and Seth Jones being
probably
he
32?
He signed an 8-year deal
younger?
2 years ago, and he's 29.
Okay.
So he has 6 years left, and honestly, as like one of those big-bodied defensemen, you could play until after 35, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of do they get the return on the amount of money they're paying him?
Hopefully.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not, but hopefully if you're them.
But they'll get he'll be able to play. He should play out that
Yeah,
contract.
like I'm not
barring
expecting Chicago to be anything amazing. Like if they make the playoffs, I consider that a win, considering how bad they've been.
And even if they don't make the playoffs, if they just have if they have a
500.
year of where like the young kids grow, like you just want to see the young kids grow. I didn't know Penguins had Erik Karlsson though.
They do.
I like Erik Karlsson.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like another one of the reasons why we were like, oh, that's like the focus game, right? Crosby, Carlson,
Right.
like Letang, like
Letang.
obviously Bedard.
Letang's been a Penguin for 40 years at this point.
And he's had like 10 strokes.
I know. I think he's like 36, but he looked good. He's still moving around the ice well.
He's a tough guy. I don't know. Something about him. He's just resilient.
And Vegas Golden Knights raised their first banner.
Yeah.
I will say
some good games on.
I think Jack Eichel has the worst haircut in the NHL.
I have not seen it.
It's bad. No, his hair is just bad. He has bad hair.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
should be talking, you know what I mean? But still.
You've conceded.
I don't think I was given a choice, to be honest. 21 rolled around, I saw my hair was thinning, and people are like, "You're going crazy." I was like, "No, I'm not." I could tell.
You're like, I see it every day. I know.
So since you don't follow hockey like religiously, and neither do
I don't.
Who's your Stanley Cup pick?
Oh man,
I have the Kansas City Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
He could probably play hockey.
He definitely could. Are you kidding me? He'll figure it out. Man, that's
Travis
a tough.
Kelce's his defenseman.
That's a tough question. I was talking about this with my resident at work that I always talk hockey with and like sports and stuff in general.
Yeah.
He was telling me like the top picks for the Stanley Cup or whatever, and it's like, obviously like it was like Vegas. You throw Colorado in there because Colorado is usually just a really solid team and hangs around.
I think the Bruins are going to come back with a vengeance. I mean, granted, they were the best regular season team ever and then flamed out. I think they're going to have a point to prove. I say they're going to make at least the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
Okay. All right. I mean, they had their best year ever. The record-breaking year last year.
And then flamed out in the first round to the Panthers, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think that's a far-fetched pick. I mean, obviously, people have the Oilers up there, right? Because
yeah, I mean,
I don't know what moves have happened in the offseason, but maybe the Stars could be up in there. He didn't mention the Stars, but I forgot who else.
And I trust his hockey knowledge over mine, for sure.
Yeah, I'm
gonna go with the Bruins. As much as that hurts me, because can't stand Boston sports, or their fans. Like plenty of them as
I think
people.
The Hurricanes.
Once they become fans of Boston teams, you have to just immediately dislike them.
I mean, Boston is just a great sports city. I mean, like whether like whether we want to admit that as New Yorkers,
no, it is.
Right?
It is. I mean,
I think it's indisputable, right?
After the Red Sox finally broke their curse, what did they won 2 or 3. The Patriots, obviously, for 20 years had 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah, Celtics are 17 or 16-time champs.
But
or whatever,
even in the last 23 years, I think they've won.
5?
Only one championships in the last since 2000. I'm just trying to think since basically Tom Brady came around.
They've won probably 3, right?
Because I know they won. Pierce, Garnett, Allen.
Yeah. I think they won 2, right? Or just 1? I thought they've won multiple.
No, I think they won 1 because
really?
then
it was what, the Lakers?
Because then the Lakers. And they beat the Lakers for theirs, I think.
Oh, you know why? Because I'm thinking of I immediately associated Ray Allen, and I was just like, Miami.
Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I could have swore
the Celtics only got
right,
1,
but they've been in multiple finals
with Tatum, Brown, and as we mentioned last podcast, they ended up getting Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
I think Drew Holiday
like
got flipped after the last podcast. So Drew Holiday, you have a a ball dominant, like someone who can handle the ball. Basically, I don't know who their point was before, but
yeah, I don't
not Drew Holiday, right?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
And
who
you're
their
gonna
starter
have
was.
you're gonna have Jason Tatum, who's still Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown is Jaylen Brown, right? With Drew Holiday, like that should be a really good team.
Yeah.
So Boston sports. Let's see, that's the Red Sox, Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, and Bruins have won,
Yeah, they
right?
won,
They've won a couple in the last 20 years or so.
At least one that I know of.
So it's great sports city.
Yeah.
Actually, really good people too. It's just I enjoy talking shit.
Yeah, there's New York and Boston rivalry is.
When
it
I
just
was
stands the
younger, I
test of
knew
time.
so many more people in the Massachusetts area. So
Some people are
we would
nice and
always
playful
talk
about
shit.
it, and then there's other people that are just flat out douchebags about it.
Yeah, well, once enough of this gets involved, everyone
Yeah.
becomes an asshole. I used to be a dick, just because I love talking shit. But now it's just a lot more playful. But I also don't really talk sports that much.
Yeah. I mean, but either
I
ways,
have
yeah.
my
I mean,
select
Boston's a great pick, especially after last year. Man, that's such a fucking hard question.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
And I'm not gonna be one of those fans as like a Ranger fan or just fans in general be like we're going all the way.
No,
we're good. It's
I
us.
think
we're the
if
best.
the
no one
Rangers
can beat us.
I think if the Rangers just make the playoffs,
It's a win.
it's a win.
Yeah, because there's so much change in that
Yeah.
that locker room, the lineup, the coaching, and everything.
Well, like
All Well, I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say,
Do you
I
wanna
need
answer my
I need
question?
to just pick one because I'm like but I really don't know. I haven't given it any thought yet. I'm gonna say. You ready for this? You ready? You ready, guys?
this is a terrible drum roll.
The Ottawa Senators. Just,
Okay.
no, I'm just kidding. although
Maybe.
although they looked really good in their debut, and they've been
Anything's
a
possible.
shit team. They got Korpisalo as their goalie now. They picked
Yeah.
up Tarasenko. I mean, I've seen some other players on last night where I was just like, oh, like he's on there. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to rule out. I feel like it's hard to rule out Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lightning have just been consistently good, just like the Knights.
I know. So, who's your pick? Pick one and set it in
Tampa.
stone. Tampa. Okay.
I think I'm gonna go Tampa. I was gonna pick the Panthers, but I'm just like, nah. I don't. I think last year was their year to, like shine, and
Yeah.
they that was their opportunity, And
Okay.
it slipped through their fingers, unfortunately.
So, going back to the Rangers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, look, I have
When
the
they-
roster here.
When they surprisingly made the Eastern Conference Finals. What was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm burping a lot.
it's all right. It's a heavy sit.
I remember, it's so good. I remember telling our friends, 2 friends specifically,
Steve's definitely not one of them.
and Eric isn't the other, so don't worry. I remember telling both of them when last year started, I was like, hey, last year, talking about 2 years ago,
Yep.
that was like an anomaly.
Yeah.
All right? That was a surprise. We caught a couple teams by surprise.
That was
Came
also
back against the Penguins.
That was also the year Kreider was insane.
right, 52 goals or whatever.
Yeah.
And both of them were like, "No, we expect more this year." And I was like, "You shouldn't, because they're not going to measure up, because they're not that good." And then, did they even make the playoffs last year?
I don't.
Lost in the first round, I think. See,
Did we?
that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't.
So they weren't that good, because we don't know.
They were not. They were not good though. I really don't remember. I think they did.
But I think they were a first round
L.
defeat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because I feel like I remember Joe and Sean being like, oh, God, here we go again. Corey's not going to be on Call of Duty because he's got to watch the Rangers,
Let's see. They were 5th in the Eastern. They didn't have a bad record, 47, 22, and 13. Better on the road than at home. Love it.
That seems like, that seems right.
Love it.
I'm really trying to remember, rack my brain thinking about, like, who did we play? Did we play the Hurricanes in the first round this time? That time?
I'm trying to find out.
Get eliminated? Either ways, let's go through the roster that we have currently, right? Because I didn't watch any of the preseason at all, and I've only followed a little bit here and there. Obviously, we have Lafreniere, we have Blake Wheeler, Panarin, Zibanejad, Jonathan Quick now, who I heard from Omar was not looking so great in the preseason. We have Nick Bonino. We have, obviously, Shesty, Kreider, Tyler Pitlick, Trouba.
Oh, they lost to the Devils in the first round. I remember that.
Oh, the Devils. Oh, my God. I forgot that they were – the Devils have been pretty
and
good.
They were up 2-0 and then lost 4 out of 5.
Oh, God. Gee, that is just so telling, isn't it? Will Cully? I don't know who that is. Capo Caco. We have Eric Gustafsson. I don't remember where he's – he's from the Flyers, I think, based on this jersey pick. And then Fox, Hedel, Goodrow, Brendan Schneider, Jimmy Vesey, Keandre Miller, Ryan Lindgren, Trocheck, and Zach Jones. That's who's listed on the thing here. I don't know if that's just players that are playing in tonight's game, though.
It could be. So, having not seen basically more than 20 minutes of Rangers hockey, I have a bet tonight.
Oh, boy.
So my bet tonight is Vincent Trocheck to have 2 shots on goal, Artemi Panarin to have 3 shots on goal, and a total goal amount of over 4.5.
That seems like a pretty good
$5 wager wins me $10 with my $11.31 and my $5 back originally, so a total of $16.31.
I mean, that seems like a pretty good bet. The only way you're not hitting that is if Panarin passes the puck a lot.
Well, you know what's funny
which is what he's known for.
The odds for him to get 3 shots on goal are based on the odds. They think it's less likely for him to get 3 shots on goal than it is. So. But Trocheck to get 2 shots, they were like, yeah, that's minus 250 or something. The original puck line was 5.5. Oh, no, not puck line. The original goal amount, I think, was 5.5. So I just took a goal off it. I also got a bet for the football game. I got the Chiefs to win by more than 5.5 and Russell Wilson to throw for 200 yards. $5 wins me $5.70.
Nice.
I don't like to bet big.
I mean, I feel like it's tough because I feel like the parlays when it's really worth some money are always like impossible.
Yeah. I did make a big bet. For me, a big bet. $50 is a big bet for me because I mostly do $5 or $10.
Yeah, that would be a big bet for me too. That would be like huge.
But it was Ravens versus the Browns, and the line was 1.5. And the Browns announced that Deshaun Watson was out and not going to play. And I went to FanDuel or DraftKings, whichever one, and the line was still 1.5 with the Browns' backup quarterback playing. So I put $50 on the Ravens at minus 1.5.
Jeez.
And obviously they won by 25. So, you know.
Whew.
But yeah, I think if they make the playoffs this year, it's a good year.
I would say
it could be make the playoffs and a first-round exit, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're consistently growing and advancing.
Who is their new coach?
Oh yeah, it's Laviolette, right?
Oh, so it's their old coach.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't he coach the Rangers? Or is he just bouncing around the Metropolitan Division?
He's bouncing around. He's bouncing around.
Peter Laviolette.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying before, I think, fans who were saying,
He's
oh,
coached
we're
the
gonna be so
Capitals, the
great.
Predators, the Flyers, the Hurricanes, the Islanders, and now the Rangers.
Yeah. So he
Oh,
something.
and he also played for the Rangers.
Yeah, there's just so much change for the Rangers, especially at the end of last year. So you're still trying to find a place and an identity for your new people. Like obviously getting Patrick Kane, we gave up things.
Right.
We traded for a lot of
I
people. Like we
hated
had
that
gotten
trade.
Tarasenko, and obviously now Tarasenko is not around anymore. We had gotten Tyler Mott. Tyler Mott's not around anymore. Actually, I think he might be on.
So he has won one Stanley Cup. He managed the Hurricanes.
Okay.
05-06.
That was with their championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just so much going on for the Rangers that I feel like just for them to find an identity and like gel together is the most important thing right now. There's just too much change. New system, right? New coach, some new guys coming into the lineup. I don't know. It seems like a lot.
Yeah, I think, you got to give it
Some
15,
time.
20 games
Yeah,
to see.
We'll see what kind of chemistry they have. Because, I mean, obviously in sports in general, especially in hockey, you go through hot and cold streaks, right? The Rangers could be absolutely on fire in the beginning of the season and absolutely flame out after the All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we've seen it happen with, in sports before. It's not like it's it's not
I
like
remember
it's new.
the Mets had a 7-game lead with 17 games to go and missed the playoffs. I'm not a Mets fan, but I remember when that happened. Willie Randolph was their manager at the time, and blowing that lead, he got fired. I don't think we've seen Willie Randolph since, to be honest. So
Probably not.
Anything's possible. But yeah, hockey, basketball. I'm excited. Again, I know
They're in preseason.
I know
right now.
less about basketball than I do about hockey, and I don't know a lot about hockey.
Yeah, I mean, we know a little bit because we've watched a decent amount of the Rangers, but as far as like the big picture, we really are more into it when we're participating in fantasy sports.
Yeah.
And we haven't really been doing that for quite a while. Probably you longer than me, but I don't know.
Also for 3 years there, I worked overnight, so that's
Tough.
missing games.
Yeah,
You know, now I'm on days, so I should be able to catch the games more.
Yeah, I try to, or at least the past 2 days since the season started, I've been throwing it on the computer here while I'm, gaming or whatever. So I got to see Ottawa play the Hurricanes last night a little bit, which was great. Ottawa scored almost like right away.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just, my resident work was like, "How do they look?" And I'm just like, "They look pretty good from the one period that I saw." But but yeah, so my knowledge is kind of limited too, but way more
But
into
let's
it.
go Knicks.
Yeah, but let's go Knicks because that's
They should make the playoffs.
as we've said in briefly at the end of last podcast,
Yes.
our final thoughts, if you will, was that New York sports is just god awful except for basketball.
It's terribad.
Yeah, I mean we're unsure whether the Rangers will be good, but we're pretty much assuming that they won't be very good. So.
Right.
And the Islanders, we already know, are not going to be good. Even my resident at work, who is an Islanders fan, will admit to you that they're not good. They're going to struggle offensively. He was like, if you get 2 goals out of the Islanders in a game, like that's amazing.
Okay.
That's what he believes.
Yeah,
Islanders
I
have to
mean-
score a lot in order to win.
Yeah. I'm not sure they'll be that bad, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on Sorokin. If he plays as well as he did last year, then
Right.
great. But the problem is he did such a fantastic job of, goalieing, obviously. But, like, if you don't have the offense to back it up, then it's
Right.
kind of like it's all for nothing. It's like all the years we've been Ranger fans, right? It's like Lundqvist
Yeah.
stands
There
on
were
his head.
so many games where Lundqvist would give up 2 goals and they would lose 2-1, but he would have like 45 saves.
Yeah, it's like, what? Come on, man.
Because
You
they couldn't score.
Yeah, like, what are you
There
doing?
was that Ranger team that scored I think it was less than 3 goals a game. Like, they were offensively so terrible, and it was just like they made the conference finals though and lost to the Devils.
Yeah.
I remember that team, and it was because Lundqvist was just playing out of his fucking mind, and the rest of the team was like, "Well, we got him, so we'll just hang."
Yeah, we're just, we're offensing really good. Yeah, I said to my resident earlier, I was just like, what do you think like the average goals in a game is now, like for the league? Like, I feel like it has to be 2 or more.
Average goals a game or per team?
I would say like per team, like let's say per team, like for like the season, like per game.
I would say more than 2.
Right, it's got to be.
I would say it's like
least
2.2 or something like that. But I really think it's like total probably 5 goals a game.
It's got to be like a crazy number, right? But
Yeah.
like, cause
they've made the rules to cater to offense.
yeah,
Or they've changed some rules.
Because they want to make it more exciting for the fans,
Right.
right?
Well,
you don't
right.
want to just be all defensive, because let's be honest, right? When you go to see a baseball game, you don't want to see no hits, no home runs, and all that
Right.
stuff, right? Granted, if you like pitching and you're a very defensive like oriented person, then that's
Right.
that's a very niche thing. That's all for you. But like, most people want to see action. It's the same thing in MMA. People boo when people are on the ground doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
But like,
they do.
when
They don't appreciate it. They want to see people standing and
yeah,
banging.
Exactly. You know what I mean? They want to see people throwing fucking haymakers and bombs, knocking people out, going stanky leg and shit.
Yeah, I like that, but I also like some pretty sick jiu-jitsu stuff.
I was never one of those people. I respect all aspects of the game. You know what I mean? It's
especially since someone can use all aspects to fuck you up at any time.
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's impressive.
Speaking of mixed martial arts, so there's a rather large UFC pay-per-view on the 21st in Abu Dhabi.
Uh-huh.
And
Abu Dhabi.
the co-main event and the main event over the weekend had a fighter pull out.
Uh-oh.
And then
Uh-oh.
two new fighters agreed to fight and essentially made better fights. So it was it was originally going to be Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev.
Okay.
Charles pulled out because in sparring he split open his eyebrow and had to get stitched up and now can't fight. So Alexander Volkanovski, who's the 145 champ, is moving up in weight to fight Islam again. They fought earlier this year, I think in February. So Alex Volkanovski's stepping up on 10 days' notice to fight for the 55-pound title.
Is he the champ of his division?
He's the champ of 45.
Right? Okay.
He's the 45-pound champ. Yeah.
I don't really watch too much, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so Alex Volkanovski is the featherweight champion.
Who did he beat? Israel?
Max Holloway.
Oh, Max Holloway. Okay. Because I get so confused.
That's Sean Strickland that beat Israel Adesanya.
Okay.
So they're middleweight, 185.
I get so confused. I know some names and some faces, but.
So the whole thing was going into last fight that if Islam gets Alex down, it's over. Islam got him down twice, I think, and got his back once and couldn't
finish him.
Couldn't, get the submission in. And then in the 5th round, Islam was tired.
Championship rounds.
Islam was tired in the 5th round, and Alex was really working that ground and pound. So I think this time, Volkanovski is going to come in with more confidence and more trust in his ability to deal with Islam's wrestling.
Okay.
So I'm going to be interested to see because it was very technical. There was some wrestling, but I felt like Volkanovski was just trying to not get taken down at times, Whereas now that he's experienced it and he knows if it happens, he's got the defensive abilities to stop submissions. I think we could be in for a more aggressive fight from both.
Okay.
And
Sounds good to me.
the second fight was Hamzat Chimaev, who I don't think you'll know.
Never heard of him. Yeah. That doesn't
was
sound familiar at
fighting
all.
Paulo Costa.
That name sounds
Paulo
familiar.
Costa got cellulitis in his elbow. Decided to go get surgery without telling the UFC. And who knows where he got the surgery from. And just had a second surgery yesterday and is having a third surgery either today or tomorrow.
Fun.
So he can't fight.
Sounds super fun.
Kamaru Usman stepped up.
Okay.
So Usman's a welterweight, 170. But he's fighting at Hamzat at 185. Hamzat and Usman have been talking to each other for the better part of a year since Usman dropped the belt to Leon Edwards.
Okay.
And no one ever thought we were going to see them fight because Dana was like,
And yet,
I'm not going to do a catch weight. And Usman was like, I fight at 170. Hamzat was having trouble making 170, so they were like, move to middleweight, 185. But on 10 days' notice, it's perfect for Usman to fight at 185 because I think he walks around at like 195.
okay. Jeez.
He's
I know some of these guys with the weight cutting
dude.
and fighting is just like insane.
Well,
to me.
Tyron Woodley, who you should know,
I do.
he said he would start his weight cut to 170 from 192. He would cut 22 pounds. So, I mean, these guys cut massive weight. But Dana said the winner of Chimaev versus Usman fights Strickland for the 185 belt. So, it's crazy. Like, the pay-per-view was already good. People wanted to see Oliveira versus Islam, and they wanted to see Costa versus Chimaev.
Yeah.
But now it's like the two fights that are happening now, there's history. There's big history.
Adds way more.
It's happening in Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi's big for all the Russian fighters and all the fighters from that area because they have a lot of fans in the Abu Dhabi region. If there is a region in that area, I don't know.
It's funny how, like, even though they're not the same at all, like UFC and wrestling is where I'm going with this, like, in my mind.
It's the same.
How it becomes, like, almost the same because of, like, the storylines, people talking shit to each other.
The only thing that's different is wrestling is predetermined and the UFC isn't.
not. Yeah.
And sometimes in the UFC you don't get the fight, and you always get the fight in WWE. But this time it's like two guys pulled out because of medical issues, and the two guys that came in were the fights that everyone wanted in the first place.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a great storyline in wrestling, right? Some guy gets like put out,
right.
put on the shelf,
Right, and then the hero comes in.
Yeah,
Right, and it's gonna be big. What's funny is that pay-per-view is the night of that me, Steve, and Eric are going to Polaris on the 21st.
Oh,
So
Polaris.
Yes. Irving Plaza. But the pay-per-view doesn't start until 10, and I think I'll be home just in time for those last two fights.
Probably.
Yeah,
what
because
time does the concert start? 7?
7 o'clock. And I think there's 3 or 4 bands playing.
Yeah.
So and that first band will be playing at 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say depending on how it goes, you could very well be home for the last fight.
So I think I'm gonna catch. If I don't get both of them, I'll get the main event, and I want to watch the main event, and I'm off the next day, which is
perfect.
Even better.
Even better.
So
Dude,
yeah,
I literally
UFC is gonna be big.
Yeah, I never have luck like that. As I said it in the group chat the other day when we were trying to plan our Christmas party.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I literally never get to enjoy like drinking and having fun without work the next day.
Oh,
ever,
God.
ever. Every event that we've ever planned it's always on like a night where I have work and work the next day. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I've just gotten used to it. And Felicia's like, no, it's all, but maybe they'll choose the other day. And I'm just like, no, Felicia, that's not how it works. That's not how it ever works.
At least
I
historically.
Yeah, historically.
But yeah, so October, new sports. Well, not new sports, but old sports are back. Very exciting. Football is continuing. We got good fights.
Yeah.
Good beers.
There's a lot of stuff to look forward to.
You got anything else?
I mean, that's pretty much it for me. I don't think I have anything else to add, really, other than just like what we said. We're excited about the sports.
Yeah.
Hockey's back. Basketball will be back soon. Some good fights to look forward to. I haven't watched UFC in a while, but I always do really enjoy it. It's just a matter of me not wanting to pay buku bucks.
I'll give you the link.
Yeah. We used to watch UFC together all the time, like like me, Heish, Brian, and whoever else.
Well,
was
with
around.
how fucking expensive it is now, I don't blame you. But
yeah, I mean, but if we
there are ways to watch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we're streaming, we should we should get together and have a little partay.
Oh, we can powwow.
A viewing partay.
Yeah, we'll do that. But other than that, thank you for listening.
We appreciate you guys so much. As we said before, please drop a like on today's video if you enjoy it, or on the podcast, depending on where you're listening, right?
Please.
What platform.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever. Again, Brews in the Basement on TikTok and Instagram, Basement Universe on YouTube.
Yep.
And we're on all the other audio platforms, so please listen in.
And with that being said, that's all we got for you today. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you later. That's what they say in Terminator. It's not goodbye. It's see you later. All right. God damn, that's a good beer.